Hey, good morning. Travis Rohr with C3 Project Pros here to go over what you're going to actually see and experience with our house flipping project management program. So I'm going to share my screen with you and you'll actually get a preview mode of what it actually is. So here we go. I'm going to share screen, do this successfully, get that guy and share. So here we are in the home page of what you would actually see. And you can see it's the house flipping project management and I'm in preview mode. So we're going to go down, and when you start the course, you're going to end up in my modules. And I've talked about having 7 modules. And so the first one, and here we are with the 48 lessons. So the first one is the pre-construction planning phase. And with that, I really think this is the most important module in frankly, in any project you would ever possibly do. So we have all these video lessons. Each one comes with an accompanying worksheets, PDFs, checklists, and other tools. So for example, we have a checklist with BHAG, which is your big, hairy, audacious goal, basically setting your big vision for the project. Planning, how to set the project up. Site conditions. There's a couple things in there. One being property condition audit, making sure that you have a full grasp of what you're about to get into. Products, I have a full checklist of every product you could possibly think of that you will need. And then I'm gonna jump to budget and schedule. These two come with a longer video tutorial with an actual tool, a budget template and a scheduling template. Those are both in a format. When you get them, you're going to do file, save as, name them to your project, and then you can repeat that for whatever you need, because it's a tool that's yours forever. And then teams, I have a document in there on, of course, your contact sheet, but then on how I locate teams and begin with that process. And then, of course, this pre-construction meeting, I'm sure by now you've heard me talk about it and how important I believe this meeting is to clarify any gaps in scope or scheduling conflicts, things like that. This really sets the tone for the entire project. And there's a complete lesson of everything you should cover in that. And then, of course, module two begins with house protection, and then moving on to demo framing, all your MEPs, so mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and then, of course, your inspections. And all of these, again, video lessons, again, with the accompanying checklist that you're going to need. Module 3 is your cover phase. So we're done with demo. We're going to start putting stuff back together. So this is about air sealing, insulation, drywall. I just call it MTT for mud, tape, and texture, but it's your pre-priming texture all the way through getting ready for actually paint. Trim carpentry and painting. I do go into an explanation of why I have those, what might be perceived as inverse order, but it makes sense once you're in the course. Module 4, sorry for the flipping. Module 4 is installation. This is a lot of fun because this is when things start to take shape, start to get pretty. So we go from flooring, cabinetry, tops, and your finished mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and then, of course, your appliance install. Again, all of them have accompanying checklists and things to be thinking about as you're coming up to them. Module 5 is closeout, and this is where I'm really pushing or encouraging to be diligent and see it through. And it's interesting, is this is where a lot of time can be lost. When you think you've got 2 days left, I guarantee you it's 2 weeks, because it just happens. But it really is important to close out each room by room by room. When you're in there and done with the room, shut the door. Don't ever go back in there again until you're doing final clean. And now we're gonna move on to module 6. Now here, this is very informative. I call it the dirty details. Of course, there's a glossary. These are construction terms that are used widely. And as people send me more terms like what's this, what's that, this is going to be a living document, and I will certainly add to it. Contracts. This goes over the different types of contracts you're likely to see. Same payment structures that you're likely to see and what I encourage and discourage. Liens, the good, bad, and the ugly of them. I think liens are a great thing for the protection of both parties, if you will. And I go into why. And then, of course, we get into hidden costs, unforeseen conditions, and change orders. If the unfortunate situation arises that you have corrections needed, or somebody not happening, I got some dispute resolution remedies in there. And then, of course, O&M, which is your O&M manual. It's a template for you to fill out. Again, all these have all the information in a format that you can print and put in your binders or whatever. Module 7 is a new one, the bonus material. So 70% rule, that is a math case for how you ensure your profitability on a project. Questions to ask for a contractor interview sheet. your quick renovation cheat sheet, that's basically some typical budget language you would see for a light, medium, or a heavy renovation based on square footages. Property condition audit. This is a great checklist for looking at your property from the curb to the back fence, from the rooftops to the basement. So, or the crawl space, whatever it is for you, and all the systems throughout in between. So you really have a good grasp of what you have your hands on. Supplies and team. This goes back to module 1 when I talked about your team and how you build them. It's a repeat here, but there's some additional information in there as well. Daily report, nothing really too fancy here, but I do like to report day to day, and this is a good historical data piece of information for you. And so just fill it out. What happened during the day? What'd you do? What'd you learn? Highs, low points. And I think that report's really critical for your historical data going forward when you do another project. And of course, your team contact sheet, and then global calculations. These are just some simple formulas that over the years I've developed that work well for me. Anyway, there's that. And as more information comes along, I'm going to add modules, add lessons, add words to glossaries. But this is what you see. So you start the course, get in here, and like I said, each one has a video lesson and some written text, and also the checklist, worksheets, or actually computer tools that you'll need to successfully manage your own flip. I do recommend doing these in order. This is self-paced, but there's no harm in jumping ahead, cranking through all the videos so you have an overall concept of this. Remember, I'm here for you. You get one-on-one calls. We have access to questions and answers in our community, and twice a month we have the AMAs, which is the Ask Me Anything. Submit questions, and I will do a brief presentation on that, or brief presentation on something else and answer your questions. It does not matter to me what they are. I'm happy to help out in any way I can. Anyway, so this is what it is when this is the preview mode for what you get with the house flipping project management system. Look forward to seeing you on the inside, and thank you very much.